But with me in the White House, we will protect the Trump tax cuts for working families. We will make our middle class stronger, bigger, better, stronger, wealthier.
Harder, better, faster, stronger.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Well, folks, Donald Trump finally took a break from whining about his court case. This time, not to play golf, but to complain about our country on the campaign trail. After catching up on some much-needed beauty sleep in court and letting off some steam, or maybe gas,
Mr. Trump!
Trump took to Wisconsin to hold his first rally in forever. And it did not disappoint, folks, so we've compiled a list of the top 10 craziest things Trump said and did at his rally today. And this is only the first of 2 rallies today, provided he can stay awake and doesn't get scared off by some rain, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our continued coverage of the other one later. Starting off strong at number 10 is this bizarre interaction with a guy dressed as Uncle Sam from the crowd.
In this country, Uncle Sam is right here. Look at him. You are perfect. This guy's the best. He's like a perfect Uncle Sam. Get up here for a second. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
The last one you signed got lost. Oh, I'll sign it.
I gotta get a pen. Let's go. Yeah, good. Just throw it up there. You think Biden can bend down like that? I don't think so.
Damn, what a lucky guy. Normally, you gotta donate to Trump's campaign in order to get a signed hat.
If you want to win a signed hat from your all-time favorite president, me, what you do is just sign up and you're going to get it. And here it is. I'm going to sign it right in front of you.
Real ad, by the way.
Secret Service doesn't love that stuff. Do you understand? They're not in love. They're looking like, what's he doing? Don't do this.
I know it's not.
Coming in at number 9, the self-proclaimed stable genius.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning?
Showed his mental fortitude is about as strong as his defense in his criminal hush money trial.
A smaller version, but it's even more bekakt. Okay? It's even worse. So it's really, it's a terrible thing.
Not really sure exactly what he means there, or if bekakt is even a word, but based on the context of smaller and worse, I have a feeling he might be talking about his little Donald. I don't know. You have to ask Stormy, all right? Not Melania, because she hasn't seen it in years. But that wasn't the only word he had trouble with today, because at number 8, we have Trump somehow failing to pronounce the word vegan for some reason, despite promoting a Milwaukee supporter of his that ran a vegan restaurant.
We're honored to be joined today by Shanna Gray, who owns a vegan restaurant, supposed to be really good. I'm not into the vegan stuff, I must say, but I'm going to have to come and try that vegan food. I don't know if I'm going to like it.
I honestly can't tell if he just thinks veganism is too woke, so he has to mispronounce the word, or if he's genuinely deranged enough to think that's how it's pronounced. Or my favorite theory, if he was just simply, as I'm sure he often does, daydreaming of Ronald Reagan. Awfully close spelling there, so I could see how he'd get tripped up. Moving on, at number 7, it wouldn't be a Trump rally without some bold-faced lies. But in this next clip, we got a 2-for-1, where Trump not only tries to lie about Biden's tax plan, but then also lies about the success of his own.
Last week we saw numbers showing clearly that the economy is crashing, with the GOP growth plunging by more than 50%. Top of all that, Biden has just declared that if he gets 4 more years, he will drench the middle class in the largest tax increases in the history of our country, vowing repeatedly that he will ensure that the Trump tax cuts, the biggest tax cuts in history, and he says, oh, it's for the rich, not for the rich. It's for companies that employ people, and it's for the middle class. And the people that benefited the most are lower income people. They're the biggest benefit, and he wants them to expire.
Yeah, not only are neither of those things factually accurate, but I can actually disprove both of them with a single clip from the most unlikely of sources, Fox News.
The Tax Policy Center declared that the top 1% and 5% benefited the most. The Center on Budget and Policy said the 2017 Trump tax laws skewed to the rich. It was expensive, and it failed to deliver on its promises. And President Biden in no way is saying to change taxes for anyone below 400,000. He wants to extend the child tax credit. He wants to extend the earned income tax
That's not
credit.
the point.
So your graphs
Will you pay more if you make less than 400,000?
You sure don't have to admire it, but you still gotta be in awe of how Trump supporters will hoot and holler for any of Trump's policies, regardless of how much tangible evidence there is of it literally ruining their lives. Next, at number 6, you had the former moron-in-chief claiming he came up with the concept of inflation as a tax.
Think of it. It's an inflation tax. It's a new tax. I just thought of it in the plane coming up here. I never used that expression.
Yeah, I just thought of basic economics on the plane. Crazy. Especially considering basic economics has been the downfall of most of my business ventures. Also on the topic of inflation, Trump made this wild claim for number 5.
We had no inflation. We had no inflation. We had the greatest economy in history. This is, everybody said, this isn't me, this is everybody. We had the greatest, we had no inflation.
Yeah, numbnuts, we didn't have inflation before because we weren't recovering from a global pandemic. And it's not even like you could have a logical debate with him about the intricacies of the recovery spending post-pandemic that led to inflation without turning it into a kid's coloring book. But on top of that, you were the one that signed off on the billions of dollars in PPP loans that primarily went to wealthy people that didn't need them. But the claims only got wilder from there, like our number 4 clip.
We also have to run our country. It's nice to be nice. It's nice to be good. We got to run our country. Our country's in trouble. Our country might not survive. I'll tell you what, if we don't win this election, I don't think our country's going to survive. I will say it. And I've never said that publicly, I don't think.
Really? You sure about that?
Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole... That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. If this election isn't won, I'm not sure that you'll ever have another election in this country. I actually say that the date, remember this, November 5th, I believe it's going to be the most important date in the history of our country.
Right. Moving on to 3, you had Trump promising to do this on the first day in office.
On day 1 of the Trump presidency, I'm restoring the travel ban, suspending refugee admissions.
Right, because that totally went off without a hitch and definitely didn't end up in front of the Supreme Court. Coming in at number 2, in another Trump rally staple, we have the classic lies about the border.
The border, there's never been anything like this, a border like this. There's never been anything in the world. There's never been a border like this in the history of the world. A lot of the numbers that just came out on immigration and on employment were illegal immigrants. Almost all of the numbers were from illegal immigrants.
He says, citing no real evidence at all, we seriously need to disregard everything this man says about the border because he is the one making sure that remains an issue just so he can say this nonsense at his rallies.
We accomplished bipartisan border security. It wasn't, and it was, oh, you can shake your head all you want, but Democrats and Republicans voted for border security. And you know what? It was Donald Trump who said, don't give Biden a win.
But my absolute favorite clip that definitely takes the number 1 spot is this one where Trump talks about America's enemies.
You've seen plenty of them. I say the enemy from within and the enemy on the outside. I think that, frankly, the enemy from within is more dangerous to our country than China and Russia and others.
The enemy from within is more dangerous than America's top military and economic rivals. Fascinating, Donald, and very true. Our country is very much at danger from the enemies within, like insurrectionists, white nationalists, MAGA morons, and you wannabe dictator diaper man.
He wiped out the uncle, he wiped out this one, that one.
And then we fell in love. He wrote me beautiful letters.
Thanks for watching, folks. Please be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends and enemies, both foreign and domestic, to help get the word out about how absolutely insane this man is and how much of a danger to truth and our democracy this megalomaniacal maniac is. Let me know your thoughts about what you think the absolute craziest thing he said was, and be sure to hit that notification bell to get alerted when we cover his second rally, which, based on the fact he's been wearing his MAGA hat while speaking at, I can only assume will be much more unhinged than this one. Thanks again for watching. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you all in the next one.